Okay, now we're going to review a few key ideas that we talked about but didn't go into, specifics in episode 1. All right, first is the self-determination theory of motivation. The SDT, as it is sometimes referred to, theory of motivation, is wholly focused on what causes us to be intrinsically motivated. Intrinsic motivation is that deep, powerful motivation that you feel when you have a project and you're just into it and you're working on it, or it's that motivation that comes from within. Okay, it's not really very much influenced by outside circumstances and forces. All right, now the self-determination theory of motivation states that there are 3 principal factors to intrinsic motivation, and these are competence, relatedness, and autonomy. Okay, now in episode 1, I kind of repeated the definition for competence as also the definition for autonomy, and that is totally not correct. So I'm going to go through these really quick. Competence is having a good understanding of what you're doing. Like, I'm a software engineer. I have a pretty firm understanding of digital logic design, how logic gates work, how the computer works, how chips work. Everything from, the chip level all the way up to what's showing on my screen. So that is an example of competence. I have competence in what I'm doing. I know my languages. I know how to code. There is a level of being competent there, okay? So having your intrinsic motivation energized, I guess, has a lot to do with being competent, knowing what you're doing, having a firm understanding of your skill, of your specialty. All right, relatedness. This is basically the idea that you have good working relationships with those that you work with or who are involved in the project that you're working on. So having good social cohesion in your working atmosphere. That's relatedness. Now, autonomy is having a sense of autonomy over what you're doing. So basically having a measure of control over what your specific job is, knowing that you have full control over the important parts of what you're in charge of doing.